Welcome to the Massachusetts EEC ARPA Child Care Stabilization Grants video walkthrough to log in and access the application. Eligible providers can apply for these funds via EEC's LEAD licensing portal. We will start this video by explaining how to log in. To access the application, providers will need to go to the LEAD licensing portal URL. Enter your LEAD username and password, then click Login. If you forgot your password, then just click the Forgot Password link. Here, enter your username and click Continue, and a password reset link will be emailed to you. If you have forgotten your username, or if you're having a problem logging into the account, click Support Ticket. Complete all fields, then click Submit Ticket. Once you click Submit Ticket, a ticket submission confirmation page will be shown to you. To return to the login page, click Back to Login. Now let's log into the portal. Once logged in, you'll land on the LEAD homepage. You'll see that the homepage now looks different. In addition to being able to see licensing and childcare search information, there is now a new card that says Grant Management. This is how you'll be able to get the ARPA application. On the Grants Management card, click View Grants. If you are registered for more than one provider, you'll need to log in for the program you are applying for. If you are registered with a large number of providers, you can reduce the number of fields shown by typing a keyword in the Search Provider field. You can use the program name, city, or other data displayed on the card. Once you found your program, click Login. If you would like to see this application in a different language, please use the drop-down box in the upper right-hand corner to select your preferred language. As you can see, this message is also displayed in multiple languages on the dashboard to help all applicants know they can switch the language if they need to. From the Language Translations drop-down, you can select the following languages along with English: Spanish, Portuguese, and Mandarin. To apply for the ARPA Child Care Stabilization Grant, click Apply Today. Please note that once you have started an application, this Apply Today button will be disabled, but if you scroll down to the bottom of the screen, you'll be able to see any applications you have in progress, and you will be able to return to them by clicking Continue. At the top of the dashboard, you can see counters displaying the number of applications in progress, submitted, and under review. Now let's start our application. As always, if you have questions or concerns about your application, please reach out to Help Desk Support. Step 1. Instructions. After clicking Apply Today, you'll be redirected to the instructions page. Read all the instructions. That will help in getting started with your grant application. The instructions provide information about the grant program and what you'll need to fill out your application. Please note that throughout the application, there are blue icons with the letter I. If you hover over these icons, you can see additional information about how to fill out the specific application question. To navigate throughout the sections of the application, providers can click on the step number in the navigation timeline in the top left corner of the screen, or clicking either the previous or Save and Next buttons at the bottom of the screen. Important to note, clicking the back button on your web browser may impact your ability to save the changes. To navigate through the application, applicants should only click Save and Next to save changes and continue, Previous to return to the previous save page, or one of the completed step numbers in the navigation timeline. If you leave your application at any time, you can return to your most recent save step from the EEC ARPA Grants dashboard by scrolling past the application description to click Continue for your application found in the In Progress tab within the My Application section. Step 2. Program Information. In an effort to ease the user experience and support providers submitting a successful grant application quickly, many fields have been auto-populated based on information received from LEAD. If this information is inaccurate and needs to be updated, there is a link to complete an appeal form. You can see an example of this link to the appeal form here. These links will be throughout the application wherever there is information auto-populated. The appeal form is to request changes to such information. EEC will review the appeal form to validate the data, to ensure timely and accurate grant payments to providers. In the application, as previously mentioned, this question has a blue eye next to it. When I hover over it, more information about the provider program number is provided. The first field you will need to complete is to indicate the month you are applying to start your monthly grant. Monthly funding amounts will be calculated based on the information submitted in your application. You will have an opportunity to confirm or update your application information for each of the following months. Please note that your site must be open to serve children during the month for which you are applying to start your monthly grant, and all information provided in your application must be correct for that month. Once you have submitted the application for your first month, you will be asked to recertify the information for each month following. Monthly funding amounts will be recalculated if any updates are made in future months. On this page, and throughout the application, you can see red stars or asterisks. They indicate which fields are required to move on to the next step. If you try to proceed without filling out one of these fields, you will get an error message, and the required fields will be outlined in red until they are completed and you can move forward. Once you are done with all the fields, at the bottom of the page, click Save and Next. Again, at any time, you can also click Previous to go back one step. Step 3. Operation Hours. Verify that the hours and fees shown are correct. If corrections are needed, click here to make corrections on your consumer web page. Once the operation hours and fees have been verified, check the box to approve. Then click Save and Next. Step 4. Capacity Information. This screen is intended to gather enrollment information for all the different ages of children within your program. Please enter the number of children enrolled as of the first of the month for which you are applying for each age group listed. For example, if this program is applying for July funding and has 10 infants under 12 months enrolled on July 1st, then the number 10 should be entered next to 0 to 12 months. Once you have completed all the different age ranges, the system will automatically add the enrollment numbers for each age category to report on the total number of your current enrollment. If the total is incorrect, please review your count by age group. Next, EEC is looking to gather information from programs about what additional support you offer families to help pay for childcare. If your program offers additional support outside of subsidies to families, please answer those additional questions. This help could include siblings or staff discounts, scholarships, sliding scale tuition, or other types of reduced tuition. Next, if you are a center-based provider, the application will ask for the number of classrooms you operate. Please enter the number of classrooms currently open in your program by age group. If a classroom serves children in 2 age groups, count it in the youngest applicable group. For example, if you have a classroom that serves infants and toddlers together, count the classroom in the infant category and not the toddler category. You will see the total number of classrooms summarized for you at the bottom of the screen. This number should match the total number of classrooms you are running. If it does not, please check that you haven't neglected to count a classroom or double counted a classroom that serves 2 age groups. For all providers, EEC is looking to better understand program monthly operating expenses to inform potential future grant opportunities for childcare programs. If you are willing, please calculate the total amount you have spent this month to run your program. To continue, click Save and Next. Step 5. Staff Information. Here, the application will ask for information about the teaching staff in your program during the month for which you are applying. For example, If you are applying to start your monthly grant for July, you should provide the count of educators working in your program during that month. If this changes for later months, you will have the opportunity to update this information in the application for each month's recertification. Center-based providers will be asked to provide a count of the number of full-time equivalents, or FTEs, in different roles. An FTE is a calculation of the percentage of full-time coverage your staff provides. Each individual staff's FTE is calculated by dividing the number of hours worked weekly by the number of hours your program considers as full-time. For the purposes of this application, 30 hours per week is the minimum number of hours that may be considered full-time, but you should use your program's definition. For example, if your program considers 35 hours per week as full-time, and you have a staff member who works 17.5 hours a week, this would be considered as 0.5 FTE. For each role, enter the total of those FTEs. For instance, if you have 2 assistant teachers counted as 0.5 FTEs, then enter 1 as the number of FTEs in that role. If you are a family child care provider, the application will instead ask you if you employ an assistant at your program. If you answer yes, you will have the option to indicate how many hours your assistant typically works in your program. If you have more than one assistant, add up their hours to simply report the total number of hours for which you have additional support. Both center-based and FCC applications will also ask you to report on the highest and lowest salaries you provide staff in each role. If you have only one assistant or one person in a role, you should enter the same number for both the highest and lowest salary. Please note, you should provide this information as an hourly rate, not an annual rate. If you only know the annual rate, just divide it by the number of weeks worked by that person in a year, then by the number of hours worked each week. Next, you will be asked about stipends provided in the fiscal year of 2021. Continue with completing the rest of the staff information. Next, you will also be asked about stipends provided in the fiscal year of 2021. If you did not provide any additional stipends, you may click No and advance. If you click Yes, you will be asked to provide additional details about how much funding you invested in stipends across all your staff, how many staff benefited, and the highest and lowest stipends paid to an individual staff person. All this information will be helpful to EEC in understanding salaries and wages across Massachusetts' EEC system. This data will help to report on how current grants might support compensation and inform future investments made across the system to support Massachusetts' EEC workforce. Finally, the application will ask for you to enter a range for the total compensation of the organization's highest paid employee, most typically the CEO or the highest level executive. If your program is part of an umbrella agency or multi-site company, this salary would be the highest paid individual in the larger agency or company. Please note, if the amount entered is greater than $750,000, you will need to manually enter the amount. This data is necessary because the grant will limit payments to programs with very high ratios between the highest paid executive and lowest paid educator. But this is not likely to affect most programs. This ratio needs to be higher than 40:1 to lead to any restrictions. Once the executive CEO salary is entered, the system will calculate and display the educator-CEO compensation ratio. If it is higher than 40:1, you will see a warning that the grant award will be limited. If, for any reason, you believe this formula does not accurately capture the management and financial structure of your program, you should complete the appeal form to provide further information using the link here. In the appeal form, click on the box for staffing and enter an explanation of the consideration you would like. When you are ready to continue, click Save and Next. Step 6. Equity Adjustment. This is only a display. To submit an appeal, click here. To continue, click Save and Next. Step 7. Attestation. This section asks you, the program, to complete an attestation. EEC is federally required to ask all programs applying for stabilization funding to report on what categories of spending each program is intending to support with this funding. As you'll see, the attestation provides you with the options for eligible uses or categories of spending. You may select more than one. After completing this attestation, you'll need to check the certification box. This certifies your intent to only use the funds for these purposes. We are also federally required to collect the additional attestations regarding complying with applicable rules, maintaining staffing levels, and supporting families to the extent possible. Please note, because EEC is currently paying for the parent fees of all subsidized families, this expectation is being met by the state for all programs. After checking the attestation checkbox and reading the federal requirements, you'll need to sign the application with your legal name. By signing the form, you are agreeing to all the attestations above. When you are done, click Save and Next. Step 8. Banking Information. First, answer how you would like to receive your payments. Please note, selecting check by mail instead of EFT, electronic funds transfer, may delay payments due to processing and mailing. Note that the account holder information has been pulled from Lead. If you need to update the account holder information, you should fill out the appeal form as indicated. Please be sure to enter your complete banking information to ensure timely and accurate payment. When you click Save and Next, the system will automatically validate the bank account, so it is crucial that the bank information you enter is valid and active. You will be asked to enter the routing number and account number information for your bank account. This is to ensure timely and accurate payments. Step 9. W-9 Details. State and federal regulations require EEC to collect W-9 details on the programs who apply for stabilization funding under ARPA. Please enter your taxation details, including any exemptions. Next, you will need to verify your taxpayer address and enter your email address and phone number in the contact details section. Next, please enter your taxpayer identification number, or TIN. You will then need to certify that you understand the penalties of perjury. To administer funding under this grant application, EEC requires that your legal name and address on the W-9 is the same as the information on your bank account. If these documents do not match and the legal names and addresses differ, you will need to check the box. Please note, checking this box will require that you complete an appeal form to clarify the difference in information across these two forms. When you completed this step, click Save and Next. Step 10. Review and Summary. It is important you review all information within each section. If you identify a section that requires an edit or update, please do so by going to the top left portion of the screen and clicking on the section that requires updates. After making any necessary edits, you'll be asked to recertify under the penalties of perjury by checking the box and entering your legal name. Finally, click Submit to submit your application. Once you click Submit, at the top, a green banner will state you successfully submitted your application. In addition, your monthly award projection will be displayed. If you wish to appeal, click here for the appeal form. Once you close this window, you'll be redirected to your EEC ARPA grants dashboard. Because the application was just submitted, the dashboard now shows 0 applications are in progress and 1 application is submitted. At the bottom of the dashboard, you can still view your submitted applications by clicking on the Submitted tab, then clicking View. Once the application is approved, a new section will appear below this section called Recertifications. This is where you'll recertify your information monthly so that you can continue to receive allocations. For updating operation hours. On Step 3, review the fee schedule and days and hours of operation under the Provider Information section to confirm accuracy. The information you see here is populated from your consumer web page. Please note, if you have multiple schedules posted on the consumer web page, you will only see one on the application. If this information is incorrect or incomplete, click here to navigate to your consumer web page to make required edits. When you click the link, a new tab opens connecting you to the consumer website. Once you update your information on the consumer website, you may close this tab to return to the grant application. Please note, you must update your fee schedule and days and hours of operation on the consumer website for the grant application to accurately submit your information. For data collection purposes, and to inform future funding opportunities for Massachusetts child care system, it is incredibly important your program's information is accurately reflected on the consumer website. To edit your displayed schedule and fees, you should click the pencil icon. You can expand the headers when modifying your schedule by clicking the plus icon. To collapse or minimize these headers, you can click the X icon. Please ensure your operating hours for each day are accurate. You have the ability to add a day and its corresponding operating hours, so all days are represented accurately on your application. When you are done with your changes of editing your schedule, click Save. You can add another schedule by clicking the plus icon. It's important to remember that a program can only have one of each schedule type. As a reminder, you can only add weekend days to the weekend schedule. You can also add fee information by clicking Add Fee. You should only enter the numerical value of those fees. The system will not recognize symbols, so please do not enter the $sign. Once you have added your schedule, click Save. Once you have made your edits on the consumer website, please be sure you save your changes. At the top of the screen, click Save. You should click Save twice to confirm all changes have been updated on the consumer website. After you've made your changes to the consumer website, you may return to the grant application. If you close the grant application tab, you can still return to the grant application by logging back in, as explained in the Logging In video lesson. Once back on the grant application page, you should review the operating hours once more to confirm accuracy. Click the checkbox to acknowledge accuracy. Then click Save and Next to continue. Video walkthrough for recertifications. To begin, log into your LEAD portal. Click on the Grants option. Select your program. From the EEC ARPA Grants dashboard, scroll down to find the Recertification section. Click on the Recertify link. The information entered in your prior application submission will be shown. Review all the data and identify if there have been any changes in the month for which you are recertifying. As a reminder, all information submitted as part of the application and all recertifications should be current as of the grant month for which you are applying. Please check to see if any of the information submitted has changed in the month for which you are applying. If nothing has changed, select Yes to certify the information. The Recertify button will appear. Click on it and your application will be successfully submitted. If any information has changed, select No to make edits in the application. The Edit Application button will appear. Click on this button and you will be redirected to the application page. From this page, review the application form step by step to make necessary updates, as information will already be populated from your original application. This module will focus on two core functions of the grant application. 1. How to file an appeal form. 2. How to submit a support form. Throughout the application, there are various hyperlinks. Let's click here to log an appeal form. There are various types or categories of appeals you can log on the form. You should select the one that applies to you. If more than one category applies to you, you may select more than one. Let's review the type of appeals you may submit. Eligibility, license capacity, staff information, equity, I'm in the middle of my address change, other. You may also submit additional information on the families your program serves to justify an equity adjustment. Once we select our types, we enter the supportive information. Once your information is entered, click Save and Next at the bottom. The second and final step is to upload files to attach to your appeal form. This step is optional. You can submit your appeal form without attaching files to it. If you wish to attach files, you either click the Upload Files box to select the files from your computer, or drag and drop the files directly into that box from your computer. Once the file is selected, click Start Upload. Once the upload is complete, click Done. You can repeat as needed to attach multiple files. Your files will be listed on this page. You can click Hide Transcripts to collapse this list view, or click View Transcripts to expand it. Once they're listed, you can click View for a quick view of the file, or click Delete to decide not to attach that file to your appeal form. Finally, when you are ready to submit the dispute form with its optional attachments, click Submit. The green banner at the top shows the form was successfully submitted. Now let's contact support. If you need support at any time, use the information box on the left to log a ticket for the help desk. You can also reach the help desk via phone and email. Please note that the help desk staff is available to communicate with you in multiple languages, including English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Mandarin. In addition to the box on the side, you'll also find a link at the top of the page to contact support. This link for support is the same as the link to log a help desk ticket, taking you to the EEC support page. On the EEC support page, you'll need to complete all fields with clear and comprehensive text in the description. Once all fields are completed, click Submit Ticket. A green banner at the top will confirm you have successfully submitted your ticket and will also show your ticket number. This ticket number is shown on the ticket details of your ticket. If you click Back to All Tickets, you can see all the tickets that you have successfully submitted. Here, there are specific tabs to view both the open and closed tickets. Closed tickets are your tickets that have already been resolved by the help desk. Open tickets are tickets that are currently being worked on by the help desk. To view the details of any of these tickets, click the ticket number. Thank you for viewing this module.